So welcome back to our video on creating quick and easy 8-bit art. And the next thing I need to do is I need to start making my game sprite, my graphic. And that's relatively simple now. All I have to do really is I need to take a grid, my grid layer, click on that. I'm going to duplicate it by hitting Control or Command J. And I'll just call that Sprite Tim. So again, I'm limited in my color palette here, so I'm just going to choose a few. And let's see here. I'm going to pick out a few. Actually, I'm going to create an extra layer. I'm going to call that swatches. And now I'm going to pick. I'm going to limit myself to 8 colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to grid, get my magic wand tool. This is the only time that I think the magic wand tool is appropriate. Set the tolerance to 1. I've selected that one. Now I'm going to go up to swatches. Make sure you don't forget to switch from one layer to the next. I keep forgetting that myself. You've noticed it, I'm sure. And I'm going to pick out a color for my hair. So my hair is a dark gray. Used to be a dark brown, but there it is. Go up to my paint bucket here, make sure I'm on swatches. Boom. Actually, that's a little bit too dark. So there. So there's the swatch that I can use for my hair. And then I'm going to pick out another color for my glasses, and I'm going to make them kind of a light blue. So I'm going to go down a grid, magic wand tool, select this one. You'll notice that I'm not using any pixels that overlap with the actual drawing. There's a reason for that, because I'm going to have to fill these in later, and I can't do that if these are in the way and already filled in. So I'm going to go with kind of a light blue. So go down to here, kind of a cyan. Yeah, that's actually perfect. Might desaturate that just a little bit. There's the glasses. Oops, see, that time I didn't remember to change my layer there, so I'm going to go over here. There's glasses. I'll only add a little bit more blue to that. It almost looks gray. And why is that not doing anything? Oh, you know what? I'm a total idiot. I forgot to take this out of grayscale mode when I scanned it in. Okay, I thought I was losing my mind there. So yours is probably already going to be in RGB. I need to change mine to RGB color. Do not flatten it, for heaven's sake. Now, there we go. Okay, I mean, I know I'm losing my mind, but I didn't think it was that far gone. And then I'm just going to make a few other colors as well, and then save this. But I'll skip a bit ahead so that you don't see me doing the same thing repetitively over and over again, because you've got better things to do with your time. All right, now I have got my swatches set. I thought of 8 colors that I'll need. Actually, I wound up only needing 7, but I threw in red in case I want to animate this with like an explosion and like outline the sprite with red whenever he hits a an enemy. Okay, so the rest is just kind of like playing a digital coloring book here. So what I'm going to do is I've locked all my layers, with the exception of one. I forgot one. And I'm just going to work on the sprite layer here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Grid, Magic Wand tool, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, there's my halfway point. And I'm going to just mark that right there with a ruler as well. And the reason I'm doing that is I am only going to do 1/2 of this sprite. Since it's laterally symmetrical, in other words, one side is a mirror image of the other, why do twice the work when only half the work will be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish one side, and then I'm going to duplicate it and flip it horizontally, drag it over, and then instant success. All right, so right there I've got the hair, and I'm going to go over here to the hair color, sample that, go to the paint bucket tool, and boom, I've got the hair. Now, of course, this isn't going to line up perfectly with my sketch, but the sketch is just a guide. So that's why, yeah, I called it guide. All right, and you'll notice that the guide is still in multiply mode. So next, I'm going to do my forehead here. So I'm going to go back down to grid, magic wand tool, grab that, and let's go ahead and do the rest of my ugly face. All right, fill that in. Let's see here. I might change that up here in a minute. But I'll see. Now do my eyeglasses. Go back down to grid. So it's just a jumping. It's just basically jumping around a lot of jumping from one layer to the other. Go back up to sprite. Sample the eyeglass color. Go to glasses there. Fill those in. Let's see here. Next, I'm going to go back down to grid, and I'm going to sample my beard here. Of course, I'm going for a very cartoony effect here. So there is. I'm going to use the hair color again. Go back up to sprites. Fill that in. All right. Now I'm going to grab the mouth here. And the reason I lock everything up is because I keep forgetting to go from one layer to the next. So, you know, that's why I need to lock those so I don't accidentally do the fill with the paint bucket on the wrong layer, which I've done, like, you know, only about 1 million times. So now I'm going to work on the shirt. So I'm going to deselect, go down to grid. And these are the arms over here. And that is a bit of the shirt right there as well. And those of you that know me, I always wear black shirts. So simple that, which, okay, go over to here. And there's that. Excuse me. And now I'm going to do pants. I always wear jeans. So I'm going to put my blue jeans color here. Go down to grid. And so on and so forth like that. Go back up to sprite. Fill in the jeans. Okay. And I forgot to put my feet in the original drawing here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, they're just going to be simple rectangle there, so that won't matter. And let's see here. I am going to, let's see here. Oh, I'll do the hands. I almost forgot those. So here we go. Now I've always just wanted to build myself in a 2-bit mode, 2-bit mode, 8-bit mode. So there I have it. So there's one half of your teacher as an 8-bit video sprite. And what I may do here is I may go down to here. Just want to try something here. Arms a little bit more detail. All right, there we go. I'm going to turn the guide off. So now you can see a little bit more. I'm going to turn the swatches off. I am going to go to the sprite layer. I'm going to hit Command J. I'm going to duplicate it. Oh my goodness, what's happened here? Oh, you know what? I have done a horrible bad thing, and I'm going to, instead of editing this, I'm just going to go fix it. For some reason, I duplicated this when I made the sprite copy. That was supposed to be a blank layer, so now I'm going to kind of mess this up. The sprite Tim layer should have been completely completely empty layer. So now I've got a horrible mistake I've got to fix. So I'm going to have to, actually what I'm going to do, there's an easier way to do this. I'm going to select those two squares, then I'm going to go to select the menu bar, and I'm going to go to similar. And that's going to select any pixel in this image that's either this color or this color, and I'm just going to hit delete. That's what it should have looked like. So hit save. I didn't realize it at the time because they both had the same background. So now I'm going to duplicate, move. I got to line this up perfectly. There we go. Let's zoom in. There we go. It's got to line up to the pixel or very bad things happen. Then I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal, and there you have it. It's actually a little bit off center there. There we go. Now, there's that. But honestly, to tell you the truth, it looked better this way, didn't it? Let's turn the grid off. Yeah, it looks a little bit better this way, and I can do that. I'm allowed. It's still symmetrical. It's just a little bit off center, which is a dangerous thing to do, but like I say, just you got to line it up to the pixel. I'm going to turn my grid back on to make sure that it's lined up. There we go. If you don't line it up, when you shrink the image down, bad things will happen. Let's turn the grid back off. Now I'm going to combine these two by hitting Command E, and there is me as an 8-bit character. So yeah, there it is. Yeah, and I could add a little bit more detail here and there, but these lectures are already going way over time, so I'm not going to do that. But that is the basics of making an image. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Now, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to do Save for Web, export, whatever you want to call it. It's just not working because I can't get my keys. It's not working. There we go. Okay. Now, in here, I am going to set this to GIF, and file size, image size is going to be 8. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. 16. And everything lines up perfectly. Well, no, it didn't. Oh, because I need to set the colors to 8. There we go. Kind of forgot a step. Now ignore those squares in the background there. Just make sure transparency is turned on. Then I'll hit save. I'll save it, and I'll have a 16 by 16 sprite, and I'll still have my original 608 by 608 Photoshop file, and both of those for your project will be what's required to be turned in. So go ahead and hit save that, and we're golden. Oh, one last thing I forgot, and it's very important here. You want to make sure that when you save this, and I'm noticing a little bit of artifacts here, so it's not lining up quite right. I must have messed something up there. But when you save this, 16 by 16 here, make sure when you're saving it as a GIF, you turn the matte to none. Otherwise, you're going to get that white outline that's just going to ruin it. So make sure it's set on 8. Let's see, I'm still getting some weird effects there as well, but I'm going to fix that here in what I call post-production. And I'm going to hit save, and then I'll save it, and then I'll fix that up. All right. Okay, now when I saved this, Photoshop was not being cooperative, so I'm just going to open up that GIF itself here. I'm going to zoom in here. You'll notice that I've got some weird artifact stuff going on. An artifact is a term for something in graphics that's not supposed to be there. So what I'm going to do, since I know I've got 8 colors to work with, and I'm getting multiple colors over here, which I'm surprised by, going to sample that color, go to my paint bucket tool, make sure that my image mode is still set to index color, which is what GIFs are, and threshold tolerance needs to be set to 1, and failing that, go back to, since that's not working, going to fix all these colors. Now go to this. Boy, it's just not working at all today. So there. Now I've just got a uniform color there, and see I've got 2 different colors for the legs. That's not cool. Let's see here. I want that color. So that's what we call fixing it in post-production, or fixing it in post. I really shouldn't have to do this, quite frankly. Okay, so now I'm down to just actually 7 colors. So that is that's it for making a 16 by 16 GIF. That last step that I just finished doing, you really shouldn't have to do. Like I said, I'm a little bit surprised by that, but oh well. And oh, one other thing I wanted to show you was, let's say I wanted to add some eyes there. Well, then I need a new color, but what I need to do is I need to reuse some colors. Oh, and I just noticed that I've got a little bit of that same color going on here. Yeah, you really got to watch your colors to be true 8-bit. You got to keep those colors to a minimum. So make sure that they're all the same. So yeah, that, giving it some eyes, that gives it a little bit more personality. So there is your IMD 221 CIT 221 teacher as an 8-bit character. So, and if I wanted to animate this and whatnot, I could do that as well, but we'll cover that in another lecture later on. But for right now, that's it for getting started in 8-bit characters. We'll talk about animating much later. All right, thanks for watching.